Welcome to the Architecture of Inquiry, a masterclass guide to inquiry-based learning. This video will take you from the foundational philosophy to practical classroom scaffolding. We begin with the foundational philosophy, unpacking the multidimensional structure of modern inquiry. Key elements include the epistemological, developmental, iterative, and collaborative aspects, all centered around the student question. Clarifying the pedagogy involves comparing inquiry-based learning with direct instruction and discovery learning. Inquiry-based learning positions the teacher as a facilitator and the student as an autonomous investigator, utilizing a structured framework with feedback loops. The historical architects of inquiry have mapped the DNA of this framework. John Dewey emphasized experiential learning. Jerome Bruner contributed discovery and structure. Lev Vygotsky introduced social scaffolding, and Joseph Schwab advocated for the practical curriculum. The continuum of inquiry, based on Bonci and Bell's 2008 model, illustrates the levels of guidance. This dual-axis spectrum balances teacher control and scaffolding with student autonomy and agency, moving from confirmation to open inquiry. Modern architects of inquiry bridge systemic architecture and classroom practice. Kathy Short, the system architect, focuses on macro-level design, while Kath Murdoch, the classroom practitioner, developed the flexible six-stage inquiry cycle. The scaffolding, the cycle of inquiry, is an iterative process based on Kath Murdoch's 6 stages. It progresses from tuning in and finding out, through sorting out and going further, to making conclusions and taking action. The teacher's role shifts dynamically depending on the phase of learning and the level of direct intervention. Teachers act as the modeler, the scaffold provider, the coach, and the co-inquirer, maintaining the architecture of inquiry. Integrating inquiry across disciplines requires adapting to specific epistemological demands. This includes simulated experimentation in science, corroboration and context in history, pattern investigation in mathematics, and textual dialogue in language arts. Inquiry is central to the IB ecosystem, mapping scale and intensity as students mature. It moves from pervasive and transdisciplinary in the primary years program to targeted and disciplinary in the diploma program. The assessment challenge involves shifting from the production model of single grades to the inquiry assessment model, which uses triangulation of evidence from observations, products, and conversations to drive iterative improvement. Assessing the 10 facets of learning emphasizes that cross-curricular skills must be taught explicitly. Inquiry requires teaching facets like communication, critical thinking, and reflection directly, not just hoping students pick them up. Navigating common pitfalls requires structural countermeasures. Address cognitive overload by differentiating inquiry levels. Counter the go-find-out mentality by providing targeted provocations and active scaffolding. Synthesis, the pedagogical sweet spot, per Aditomo and Kleem's 2020 framework, is where cognitive activation, student agency, and teacher guidance intersect. Avoiding rote compliance, chaos, and busywork allows inquiry to thrive. Inquiry honors the complex, interconnected nature of knowledge construction. Effective inquiry is intentionally designed, expertly scaffolded, and continuously inspected, transforming students into active architects of their own understanding.